Welcome to the news. If you snooze, you lose. As always, a lot has been going on in the cryptocurrency market, but it has all been love, it has all been joy. If you joined the cryptocurrency before 2020, then you wouldn't really be conversant with this information, but you would have still somehow heard about it, and it's about XRP. So XRP has been under a lawsuit since 2020, and there are a lot of tokens already mentioned by the SEC as securities, but not all of them has been actually sued by the SEC. So XRP is one of them that has been actually sued by the SEC, including another one called Library. So Library at this point has already folded out after paying a huge fine from the lawsuit. But I think the judge as well, the judge ruled in favor of Library at the exchange level. So again, reading about all this and trying to investigate about all this, I'm learning a lot as well, because I'm trying to be knowledgeable enough to convey this information to you guys. So again, I'm not here trying to be a lawyer, because this is definitely not my field. So I'm learning a lot, but again, this case has been going on since 2020, and from what I learned, XRP has already spent nearly 200 million in this lawsuit. So on the 13th of July 2023, Judge Torres ruled in the favor of XRP that it is not a security in the SEC's case against Ripple. So again, let me not confuse you. I think Ripple is the company behind the blockchain called XRP, or the token called XRP. I think I'm getting confused now. The token is called XRP. So on the 13th, Judge Analisa Torres ruled partially in favor of the company in the case brought forth by the Securities and Exchange Commission dating back to 2020. So again, when this came out, luckily I saw it very early, like it was really fresh. I was there to witness all the excitement in the market, but again, I didn't want to talk about the news till I get a full gist of what's going on. Again, law is not my area, so it made sense that I waited for the experts to dissect the information before I can bring that to you. So again, from what I understand, when it comes to the sales of these digital assets at the exchange level, it is not a security. However, as it says on here, however, the SEC also managed to notch a victory of its own, as the federal judge has ruled that XRP is a security when sold to institutional investors. Again, a new knowledge for myself, because I now realize that depending on how the cryptocurrency or token is used, it could or may not be a security. So in this case, when it comes to selling it to, I guess, the public on the exchange, it's not a security. But when they have some sort of contract with the venture capitalist, that the VCs or institutional investors, that could meet the conditions of the Howey test, which is the test used to judge if something is a security or not. So at that particular stage, it could actually be a security, which is what was said here. So now, once the news came out, the whole cryptocurrency market exploded, really. Watching XRP, you can see, I think XRP did about 80% in 24 hours, although at this point, as you can see, is starting to retrace a little bit, but holding up really well in comparison to the other cryptocurrencies as well, even though we have a general green candle all over the place. Cryptocurrencies like Cardano reaching up to 25, I think 30% in 24 hours. And again, what happened is, due to the fact that this XRP is being deemed as a security by the SEC, this led to a lot of exchanges removing them from their exchange, trying to, because again, if you don't do that, then the SEC can actually sue you for offering securities without having the license, which is what Coinbase is going through. We've covered this on the channel, the lawsuit against Coinbase, the lawsuit against Binance, that they were selling securities on their exchange as well, which Coinbase is currently battling them in court as well, including Binance, because they were of the opinion that they were not securities. And besides, you cannot use the Howey test to judge every token. You cannot judge everything the same way, because these are new assets, these are cryptocurrencies. They are arguing that you need a new regulation to make sure you don't stifle innovation, if that makes sense. So immediately that happened, I think Coinbase was one of the first companies to release XRP, and I think that also helped the pumping of the cryptocurrency market, because Coinbase, as you can see here, released it. I saw this website. It is quite nice. I think it's probably an XRP fan, and he's made this website trying to track the releasing of XRP. So as you can see here, XRP has already been released on Coinbase. I think this one was the first. Then you have it back on Kraken, and you have it on Binance US as well, because the judge ruled that at that level at the exchange that it's not a security. So again, I think other companies, probably blockchain.com, OKCoin, Bittrex, and Bybit, a whole host of other companies might actually start releasing it back, and that will help a lot of money to go back into XRP, because I think you can imagine this has been going on since 2020, and even as with that, XRP has remained top 10. So that says a lot about the people supporting the cryptocurrency. They're not shaking at all. They feel very strong about the token itself, and since 2020 it has always remained top 10 in the cryptocurrency rankings. As you can see here, XRP is number 5. Obviously, if you take out this stable coin here, it will be number 4. So as you can see on the 7-day chart, you have Ethereum up about 4%, BNB up about 7%, XRP up about 50%. I think some other cryptocurrencies are already retracing. Cardano really did well as well. Let's have a look. 7 days, you can see Cardano went up and is retracing as well, which is not bad. Crypto, if you're used to the cryptocurrency market, you should be used to this. There is a dump after a pump, if that makes sense. So if you think it's going to pump and pump forever, then you are in the wrong place. So there is always very high volatility, which is why people that are very good at trading like the cryptocurrency, because you can make a lot of gains if you're good at predicting the market or if you're good at trading. Again, if you go down, Solano has been doing quite well. This is one cryptocurrency I don't own. I don't own XRP either, but I'm looking into starting to dollar cost into Solano. Obviously not a financial advice, but it's been I've been looking at it, and you can tell there is a lot of activities on the blockchain. There is a lot of dApps on the blockchain, and where there is activity and use, could be a potentially succeed in the future. But again, that's my opinion. Again, not a financial advice. So you can also see Polygon doing quite well. Tron, I think generally in the market, the whole cryptocurrency, if you go to YouTube, if you go on Twitter, everybody's really excited. You can tell, and you're obviously on the fear and greed index as of 13th and 14th yesterday, it was nearly 60, which is towards the greed, because everywhere was all green, as you can see. But again, from what I think it's also very important to hear this from a lawyer's perspective, which is why I want you to watch this next clip from the chief legal officer of Coinbase, trying to break down the rulings from Judge Torres, and also trying to talk about how that impacts the cryptocurrency market. Obviously, we already know they have their own lawsuit with the SEC as well, and from his view, this also indicates a win for them, if that makes sense. But again, I'll leave you to listen to this for yourself.
But for exchanges, for tokens that are listed on exchanges, for regular investors, there's no question that this ruling strikes a blow to the idea that somehow securities are being traded when people go onto exchanges and trade the assets.
So, Paul, you've got the ongoing case right now with the SEC, which has accused you, of course, of selling unregistered securities as well. Do you win now?
I think we will win. Now, I thought we would win before this decision. We think this decision has only further strengthened the case. And the reason is this was not just a casual opinion offered as part of a much wider dispute. This was an opinion that focused on the key issue in our case and in many other cases, which is, are these tokens, when they are traded on exchanges, securities transactions within the meaning of U.S. law? The judge spent dozens and dozens of pages analyzing each of the underlying issues. She took a long time in order to reach her ruling, but I think that all reflects care. I think it all reflects deliberation. And her reputation as a thoughtful jurist, I think, will also carry great weight for other judges looking at similar issues.
I want to pick up on the second part of this around the institutional part, because the industry, when I speak to them, always tells me the growth to this industry is the institutional investor. It's not just the retail investor. Now, Coinbase, of course, has its own institutional platform as well. And if the judge is saying, well, XRP sales to institutional investors are securities, where does that leave Coinbase and Coinbase's efforts on the institutional front?
Well, for institutional investors, I think there's actually lots of reason to cheer the decision as well, because it's not just the fact that these investors happen to be institutions like asset management firms or hedge funds and like that create securities law liability. It was the specific nature of the transaction between those types of investors in that case and the Ripple defendants. I think all investors, institutional and retail, can take great comfort from the fact that when it comes to exchange trading, where there is arm's length dealing, the court has made it very clear these tokens are not being traded as securities.
Do you think that the ruling is as clear cut, though, in terms of, when we think about particular tokens, and the specifics of those tokens and their transactions? Is it as clear-cut saying, well, XRP is not a security, therefore Solana, Cardano, all these other tokens are also not securities?
Well, I think it would be a mistake to assume that in every instance and in every transaction, the securities laws do not apply. That's never been Coinbase's position. I don't think it should be anyone's reasonable position. But if you literally replace the letters XRP with the letters for any other token in this decision, the logic still holds.
Anyway, that's it from me, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.